Hey guys, this is part 2 of our conversation with the incredible Nile Rodgers. If you missed part 1, go back and listen to it first. Enjoy.
Speaking of incredible people you've worked with and been around, I was listening to your podcast with Malcolm Gladwell, and you told a story about Prince.
Yeah.
And I was so gagged by it. I feel like you should tell the story.
Which story? I've got a million.
It was that you went and you jammed with him for a while. You sent him roses.
Oh yeah. Oh wow. The first time we played together. Yeah. First time we played together. So Prince was famous for doing these after parties, right? He would do a big concert and then he'd do a small show at like a little, just like a little bar. So at that time, I was doing Duran Duran. I was doing the Notorious album. So I had just finished Madonna. I had done Bowie. I had done In Excess. So and I had already had 2 huge hits with Duran Duran. So now we were just we were in chill mode, and we went out to catch a Prince after party. Because, I guess Duran Duran, they were sort of wired. They knew where everything was going on. So we walked into this nightclub that was in, what part of London was it? I can picture it now. Oh, Camden. It was like near Camden Lock.
Yeah.
So we walked into the club, and it was, these were the days where you could smoke. And boy, in England, they smoked their smoke.
Yeah.
So we walked into the club and it's like nothing but smoke. And I have no idea how he could see me because there was just smoke everywhere.
Wow.
And we walked into the club and he and Ron Wood from the Stones were playing. And I don't remember all the other musicians, but I just remember Ronnie and Prince. And I walked into the club with John Taylor and Prince stopped the band. And I don't even know what they were playing. He stopped the band and he said, "Ladies and gentlemen, Nile Rodgers." Now this man's got the funk. And he
Oh my
calls
God.
me up.
Wow, that's iconic.
Yeah, and I had to like climb on the bar and walk over people and stuff. And
Do you feel nervous or called out at all? Or were you like, I'm ready to show up?
I was probably high. I was I was too high to be nervous.
I was good to go.
Yeah.
I was too high to be nervous. And I remember he gave me the guitar. He was playing guitar at the time. So he gave me his guitar, and then he sat down and played piano. And he asked me, what did I want to play? I said, I don't care. I'll play anything you guys play. And he called out a James Brown song, but it was a James Brown song that you really had to know. You couldn't just fool around. And unfortunately, Ron Wood didn't know it. I'm not telling on Ron. I like him a lot.
Yeah.
but he didn't know this song. And so to my left side, all I could hear is like, bling, 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 bling. While Prince and I were all into it, and Prince was singing his butt off. He was just killing it. And then, so we finished the song, and I said to Woody, I said, I think you should sit down now, bro. And then we just jammed the entire night. We just went on and on.
Oh my God.
It was so...
That's so incredible.
Took my breath away. And the next day, as you said, I didn't know if they had purple roses. So I asked the concierge at my hotel if they could get like every purple rose in London. And I think he may have said, "No, my dear fella, I'm not sure they have purple roses." I said, "Well, spray them purple. Put like purple dye in it or something."
Yeah.
And they did.
Wow. And you sent them to Prince.
Like a gazillion, or however many I
That's
could.
incredible.
Yeah.
That's so cool.
That's like a genius thing to send him, I feel, because it's just like over the top and beautiful and
Memorable.
expressive. It just feels like him.
Yeah. And it's funny. I instinctively knew that was the right thing to do. Right. So this was the second time we met, the first time we ever played together. And we had played together a couple of times, but that was the first time. And we had the greatest connections, the greatest sort of friendship, spiritual type of connection after that, because I'm not like a religious person or anything of the sort. Like, like zero, nada.
Yeah.
But I understand what I would call spirituality. So Prince and I could talk just on a real artistic level. We were just like friends. You would think that we had known each other like our whole lives and had grown up with each other.
Yeah. When it clicks, it clicks. And I can see y'all clicking.
Totally.
I feel like your minds
But I
work
also kind of
similarly.
feel like, well, you tell me now, I just feel like you can connect with anyone. And is that part of the reason you've been so successful? Like, is your ability to connect with somebody personally contribute to your ability to connect with them musically?
I have no idea. I try.
Yeah.
I really, as you well know, Rozzi, I always try and have the artist's best interest at heart. I always think that, what can I do for this person that really can take them from here to there?
Yeah.
If I can't do that, then I don't really think I should be in your world, because you can get someone else. Because I think that that's the producer's responsibility. Like, if they don't help you, like, I believe we're all on a growth arc of some sort. And I want to, if you're here, I want to do that record that takes you from here to at least there. I don't want to have you stagnate or go backwards. It's like, I got to, like I always say to an artist, I want to do your next record, not your last record.
Totally.
Oh, yeah. That's a good mantra to have going into a project. How can I make this the next tier? Because
Totally.
what's the point unless we're moving up?
I'm super seduced by artistic people. I can't help myself. Like Rozzi, like when I find a person and I think they're great, like I just want to work with them, and I just can't help it.
I was going to ask you, you've worked with everyone. Is there any artist, and this is a hard question because I know you're friends probably with everybody, but is there any artist that kind of just stands above the others in terms of your, like, the sacredness to you? Like, you guys have a special, and I know, obviously, you know, the basis from Chic, of course, but I mean, when you're a producer or a songwriter with somebody else, is there anybody that was just like, you guys had the magic, or you have the magic more than you do with anybody else?
Yeah, David Bowie, for sure.
Oh, wow.
Oh,
It was
wow.
like without even thinking, I could say that, because this was a person who was a rock and roll giant, and he called upon me to make his pop record, and this was really a big thing because, you know, contrary to what people believe and what people think, David had been pursuing hits his entire life. I mean, he really wanted hit records, but because he was so artistic and he was so knowledgeable about music. I mean, he was a real jazzer too. That's how we hooked up. I mean, he's brilliant. He just didn't compromise. He just wanted to do what he wanted to do. And when he and I met, he basically charged me with doing a hit record, giving him a hit record, making him a hit record. That was my job.
Tough.
Right? So he said, Nile, you know, I want you to do what you do best. And I thought, well, how the hell do you know what I do best? You know, like, I was actually a little offended. And I said, well, what do you think I do best? And he says, you make hits. And I was like, whoa, wow, David Bowie thinks I make hits? Wow.
That's incredible.
I said, he doesn't really know me. No, I make flops. And every now and then, one of them is a hit.
I make hits and flops.
Yeah.
That's incredible.
So basically, the whole Let's Dance album I did in 2 days in Switzerland with jazz guys, with a jazz trio, and laid out all the arrangements for him and did everything in 2 days. I couldn't believe it because... Wow. And then we recorded the album, start to finish, overdubbed, mixed, everything delivered in 17 days, like a jazz album.
Whoa. That's amazing.
Insane. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that's incredible.
I cannot believe that. It's just proof that, like, you can get anything done quickly if you, like, focus on making it happen.
Yeah, or if the magic is there.
Right.
And
sometimes,
also, that's how I was taught. You know, there was a real difference between the budgets for Black artists and white artists. Like, I had friends who were like rock bands that were brand new, that would get a record deal and they'd lock out the studio. I was like, whoa, Like no black artist locked out the studio unless you were the Jackson 5 or something. Like we had to work on the 8-hour shift schedule. You know, we go in and, you know, book the studio for 8 hours, and I never locked out a studio until I did Duran Duran's album Notorious, believe it or not. So I cut Like a Virgin, Like a Black album.
Wow.
8 hour shift. I cut In Excess, Like a Black record. I cut Bowie's album, Like a Black record. He was paying for it himself. So he was thrilled that I cut it in 17 days.
That you made it so quick.
Right. Do you think that was, I know it technically would be a handicap, but do you think it was a good thing in any way? Like having to do it so quick?
It was just the thing, man. I didn't know any other way. There was no other way. It wasn't like I could say, hey, record company, can you give us as much money as you gave my friend's band, who are never going to amount to anything, but you paid them like 5 times as much as we did?
It must be so infuriating.
Right. Yeah.
That was the world. So there was the world of white artists that got new record deals and the world of black artists that got new record deals. Right. Unless you were somebody like Prince who just came in and dazzled everybody. We were not dazzling. Trust me. We were some unassuming guys that had this really great idea for this band called Chic that basically was a mashup between Roxy Music and Kiss. And I know you probably can't envision that, but basically it was the high fashion, the couture of Roxy Music and the anonymity of Kiss. Like we loved the fact that nobody knew who we were and nobody knew who Kiss were. They were like, it was a
Which
big
is kind of why it makes so much sense that you would work with Daft Punk.
Yeah.
You know, because they are the same. No one knows who they are.
Right.
And Get Lucky, I mean, just because our listeners are probably on the younger side, everyone will definitely know that one. It's just like such an infectious song. And so you know, like when you know your like body of work, it's just like you could recognize the sound of you playing that guitar anywhere. That's not really a question. I just love that song.
It's a good one.
But also you were saying the high fashion couture of Chic. Is that why, because I read that Grace Jones wanted you to produce her album?
Yeah, but I don't know if it had anything to do with our fashion sense. It was because of that song that I wrote called Everybody Dance.
Oh, right. Yeah, it was like one of our favorites.
Yeah, it's like that. Hey, man, like that song with the hip chord changes. But what was great about it is that she invited us to Studio 54, which we had been in a few times because my girlfriend was in the fashion business. But I tried to go by myself. Whoops. Bad idea. Even though they were playing my music, they had no idea who I was.
That's so crazy.
That's how great the anonymity thing worked. Grace told us over the phone, she said, so look, darling, you know, I had never met Grace Jones. So when I heard her accent, I thought that we were supposed to pretend to speak like that. I didn't know that was her real accent. I thought that was like, you know, remove the brown M&Ms from the candy jar or whatever.
Right.
So she said, so look here, darling. You go to the back door of Studio 54 and you tell them you are personal friends of Miss Grace Jones. So to us, she sounded like a cross between Marlena Dietrich, Bela Lugosi, and Bob Marley. And we we tried to fake that accent. And we said, oh, we are personal friends of Miss Grace Jones. And the doorman at the back, the guy at the back door, at the stage door, slams the door in our faces and tells us to fuck off. And we go home and we write a song called Aw, Fuck Off.
No
way.
Yes.
Really?
And it became Freak Out.
Freak Out.
That is amazing. I did not know that story.
I'm going to just say fuck off. No.
Yeah.
Every time I hear it, I'm just going to say fuck off now.
That's incredible.
That's so cool.
And we were into it too. It sounded great. And my partner, we thought of every possible scenario where the only appropriate answer, the only appropriate response would be fuck off.
Yeah.
And then finally, after we jammed on it for about a half hour, because we were pretty lit. We had bought 2 bottles of what we used to call rock and roll mouthwash, which is Dom Perignon champagne. And we downed it so fast that we got, you know how champagne makes you all woozy. And so we were just singing it over and over and over again. And finally my partner looked at me and said, my man, you know this shit is happening, right? You know that. And I was like, we can't get this on the radio. This is like 2 years before hip hop. I was like, this is not good. We're not gonna get this on the radio. And we changed it from that F off to freak off, which sounded horrible to me. I kept saying to him, we kept trying to force it. You know how you write a song and you keep trying to force it? You think the idea is amazing.
Freak off.
Yeah, right.
It is not the same.
Yeah. And I said,
doesn't
bro,
feel as good.
Yeah, right. I said, my man, that is not lifting my skirt at all. Not happening. And then Bernard had this epiphany. He went, because Bernard had kids, and I'm not married. I don't have kids or anything like that.
Yeah.
And Bernard said, yeah, my kids are doing this new dance called The Freak. We're like, whoa, let's write a song about a dance. We didn't even know how to do The Freak. And we wrote a song about a dance that we didn't even know how to do. So
that's amazing.
We went out to the record store and we bought 2 really famous songs about dances. And we used them as the blueprint for Le Freak. And we realized that in either of those 2 songs, they didn't know how to do, if they knew how to do the dance, they didn't tell you. We did, the most famous one was Chubby Checkers, The Twist. Come on, baby, let's do the twist. And then another song called The Peppermint Twist by Joey D and the Starlighters. These are both huge records. And you listen to the lyrics and he goes, come on, baby, let's do the twist. Come on, baby, let's do the twist. Take me by my little hand and go like this.
But they never tell you.
And then they don't tell you what to do. He just goes, let's twist. Yeah, baby, twist. Ooh, yeah, just like this.
And that's it.
So
you're like, we don't need to know how to do this dance. We don't need to know how to do the freak.
So when we wrote The Freak, we went, have you heard about the new dance craze? Listen to us. I'm sure you'll be amazed. Big fun to be had by everyone. It's up to you. Surely can be done. Young and old are doing it, I'm told. Just one try, and you too will be sold. It's called The Freak. They're doing it night and day. Allow us. We'll show you the way. And then we don't show you the way. We just go, freak out.
Oh, my God.
That was crazy.
I feel like some form of copying is always the most effective way to get a great song. Like, I will listen to whatever I want to, like, not rip off, but I want to kind of mimic the blueprint, like you said. It really makes a huge difference when I'm writing to have, like, some kind of guide, I feel.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Lionel Richie calls that the code vibe.
The code vibe.
Code
yes.
vibe. He'll say,
I love that.
He'll say, Nile, the code vibe on this will be Donna Summer, Last Dance, or the code vibe will be, whatever, and I'll say, oh, and I think that helps because it gets you
totally
into a frame of mind. He'll say, the code vibe will be Sly and the Family Stone, Everyday People. And then you go, okay, so you're not trying to copy it, but you're in a frame of mind where like, oh, so what, because he's now asking me, what do I feel? How does Everyday People sound to me? Like what am I taking away from that?
Yeah, there's art in the interpretation.
Right.
Should we ask our final 3 questions? I think
Sure.
we're there.
Yeah.
We have 3 questions we ask everyone, if you have the time.
No, I'm being very talkative. Sorry. Go ahead. Yeah.
No. Oh, are you kidding me? It's incredible.
No, this is amazing.
Do you want to ask the first one?
Oh, yeah, sure. The first question is, what does success mean to you?
What does success mean to me? Wow.
Yeah, get deep.
Like my jazz tutor said, to write those songs that speak to the souls of a million. Well, now we speak to the souls of 1 billion strangers or more.
Yeah.
But just to have music that speaks to people other than my tight little circle. The song should resonate outside of me. I mean, I write it for me. I mean, obviously. Yeah. But to me, if it doesn't resonate with other people, it's just the same thing as like practicing, staying at home and practice, which I love.
Right.
I would do that all day long if people would pay me to do that.
Right.
That's awesome.
I
That's a
love
great
that.
answer.
The connection, that's kind of the point to me too, is the feeling of connection with people. Music
kinda
is like the ultimate.
I look at it like, I look at myself as like a baby. You just want to be heard, right? You say to yourself,
Totally.
like when the baby is crying, you don't know what they want, but they want something.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what I want to be, a baby that wants something. I don't know exactly what it is. Do you want to pick me up or change my diaper or walk me around or whatever? You just want to be heard. And that's really what it is to me. It's that simple. You want to be heard.
You want to be heard.
Yeah.
Same.
I feel like all humans want to be seen, want to be
Yeah.
heard.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
All right. The second question is, what would you tell yourself, like your past self, when you were at your lowest? What would you tell that version of Nile, that was at a low point in your life?
I think I did tell him. Because there was a time in my life where I really felt I was at my lowest, and I told that person to stop drinking and stop doing drugs. I was at Madonna's birthday party. I think it was her 38th birthday party. And I was down in Miami Beach. I was completely out of control, partying like there was no tomorrow. And I felt like it was affecting my ability to create and make music. And I knew that I loved making music more than I loved doing drugs.
Yeah.
So I stopped. I went to and checked myself into a rehab for 8 months. And I probably would have never played music again if it wasn't for Michael Jackson calling me up and asking me to play on his album called History. And I was like so paranoid. I did not want to go into a recording studio, especially the recording studio he was in. I was like going, no. As soon as I walk in the door, they're going to go, hey, no, here's the coke. Like, no, Michael, no.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
But I did it, and thank God I did do it, because after spending those hours with Michael that day, I was no longer afraid. Then somebody else called me, and I went in, and then someone else called me, and I went in, and the next thing I know, I started making records again.
Wow, that's amazing.
Wow. That's amazing.
That's incredible.
Like if you look at my discography, you'll see like there's a whole thing missing. It's like a year. It was like no records. I didn't make any records. I was in the rehab for 8 months.
Yeah, I mean, amazing.
But that's good for you that you like took that year off to like,
And that
get
you
back on
recognize
track.
what you needed yourself. You just, you prescribed that to yourself. Amazing answer. Okay, our last question is always ridiculous, and we're always embarrassed by it. But the thing is, Scott and I love to talk about work ethic and ambition and dreams and being successful, and we also like to gossip. So our last question is: do you have any gossip now?
I feel like you have lots of gossip from your past. There's got to be some crazy.
Any gossip that you can share? You can say no.
I mean, the only gossip, I guess, would be about myself. I wouldn't gossip about anyone else.
I know,
I
that's-
wouldn't do that.
That's the problem. Our guests are too good of people.
Everyone we interview is like so like wise and successful. They're like, I don't really do that because that's very low that's very low frequency thing to do. But I feel like the stories you told, the incredible stories of the past, are like.
Well, this is a small thing, but Scott is in the band Pentatonics
course,
with
I
Kevin
know.
Alushila, as you know. Yeah, with Kevin Alushila, who you knew, but you saw on my Instagram.
Yeah.
Because he beatboxed